All right, I think they finished. We up next. So what's up, everyone? If you are watching this on Saturday, I want to say happy Saturday, happy weekend to everyone. We are currently still in a consolidation phase within cryptocurrency. And I just wanted to do another crypto review. This is Christian Hayes coming to you all. Twitter handle AO Shifty, or make sure to check out Steven_Springs or even our We Got Next Twitter handle. And we just wanted to walk through another crypto review. So this crypto review will be doing unFederal Reserve. A lot of people have been talking about it. And so I just wanted to take the time to end up going through it. I've mentioned on different occasions that we'll be going through various different ones. And within our podcast episodes we do Thursdays at 8:30, I've talked about different cryptocurrencies we'll be going through. So what I first want to start off with that a lot of people will notice is earlier in May, we hit a high of basically $1.67, give or take. And we have come all the way down to an average of around 14 cents. So that has been affected with some FUD that's been in the market for it, but also it has been something that's gone into it because of just the all around pullback within cryptocurrency. So we will start with just looking at, you can notice some of the tags if you want to end up going on cryptocurrency, and you'll see under tags, it's governance, yield farming, and DAO for the markets where you can end up purchasing or investing in on Federal Reserve. You can go to Uniswap, you can go to 1inch Exchange, Biloxi, LA Token, KuCoin, or Bitmart to end up getting it. What I've been doing recently, this is something that I have been trading myself, just for full transparency. I have been doing it on KuCoin, and I've been trading on Federal Reserve probably between the price range of this price range currently all the way up to like 30 cents. Not every day, sometimes it'll be every other day, but just wanted to let everyone know that as well before we start. So we'll end up starting with going to the website. Once again, we've been using CoinMarketCap to start off a lot of them. As Stephen and I continue, we will start to use Coin Paprika, and then we will also use CoinGecko. But so this is the main page for unFederal Reserve. So it says your middle market DeFi solution. unFederal Reserve is a banking SaaS company built on blockchain technology. Our banking products are designed for smaller US Treasury, chartered banks, and non-bank lenders in need of greater liquidity without sacrificing security or compliance. And then if you want to, you can end up hitting the stake button to create or manage and purchase their token. And then they also offer lending as another sense. So end up, as we go down, like they just explain the steps. So step 1 is create an account. Step 2, participate today. They have step 3, qualify to access liquidity. Step 4, they have track everything on your dashboard. Then they have step 5, which is integrate. Step 6, which is reporting. And then also just goes into the different steps. And just during step 3, you'll end up realizing where it says qualify to access liquidity. It does say they have partnered with Self-Key for KYC, so know your customer, and then AML. And then as you continue to scroll down on the main page, it does say warning, navigating uncharted territories, just to let everyone know. And then just explaining about DeFi is there. Then it also shows the open ocean. I'll just read a little bit there. So any major DeFi protocol relies on democratized systems so that any borrower can transact with any lender. The challenge then, from the perspective of the DeFi community, is the engagement of sophisticated borrowers. Without proper sophistication, individual lenders cannot perform proper risk-based pricing, and discrepancies in experience can lead to arbitrage that can harm the entire community. Metaphorically speaking, the open ocean of DeFi is not a place where sailboats should approach larger container ships. And as you continue to go down, it says unFederal Reserve creates a safe harbor. And just scrolling down more, it starts to end up explaining everything just about the liquidity is limited. So middle market, business to business, it says B2B lenders sometimes experience payment latency or acceleration in either instance can occur. Costs for the lender. Excess cash sits fallow, while a cash deficit forces an emergency draw on a line of credit. And then as you continue to go down, you'll end up seeing more pictures. And then it says accessible liquidity and lower costs. And then we'll stop here because then we'll end up looking at the white paper. So the two people, and I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's names, but you'll see Howard Krieger and Ryan Medlin. And those are the main people with unFederal Reserve. And their white paper is 53 pages, so we're not going to go through everything with the white paper, but I just want to end up showing you. And I do like some white papers that are longer so that you know that there's probably going to be content. You want to make sure to read through a lot of the white paper so that you know that there's not just fluff going on in it and all the information is much needed. So just an overview of basically what they're trying to do, and I'll read through some of the problem statements. So a gap exists between traditional fiat lending and digital asset-backed lending. The divide is marked by safe, long-standing, centralized, regulated lending practices on the one side and democratized, Oracle-less, secure peer-to-peer lending on the other. Our open source lending management protocols and vast traditional fiat lending experience bridges this gap. And that's what they're working to end up doing, a big thing with unFederal Reserve. So our protocols expand traditional lenders' existing liquidity options. Built on the blockchain, our system is mostly trustless with the exception of certain assessment protocols, information privacy modules, and fund transfer activity. So the problem statement. In the United States, there are approximately 4,000 commercial banks. Of the approximate $17 trillion in assets held by these banks, 4 banks control approximately 35% of those assets, and the top 10 control more than 50% of those assets. So basically what they're working to do is end up giving another alternative, because if 10 banks control 50%, that's never something that you want to end up seeing within markets, because also it's not necessarily at this point, but you're getting closer to the oligopoly territory, whereas you have a majority of the banks controlling most of the assets. And then it continues with saying there are an additional 20,000 non-bank lenders. In practice, smaller banks find it more affordable to structure financing with larger banks, leaving only a few large banks from taking advantage of the Federal Reserve's discount window for meeting short-term cash needs. So what you can end up seeing with this is basically they are trying to end up literally on Federal Reserve, the name speaks for itself. So how it works, we'll end up clicking that. And then when you click that, it'll basically take you down to the basically the steps that we walked through, then the white paper, we read through that. So let's go to the roadmap. And so I do like the roadmap. It starts back in Q4. What they were end up doing was the token design based on real life treasury functions completed, and then adoption of unFederal Reserve by test members, then staking begins to seed reserve. Q1, they had the voting and additional entrants and required staking levels to borrow from the community. In Q2 of 2021, they had the reserve lending alpha testing and product launch with single side staking and Chainlink price Oracle integration. So I do like that they're actually working with Chainlink, then voting on tier 1 exchange listing and key relationships. So that's something that they have done because they are on KuCoin, but they have mentioned that they're going to get on other ones as well. Then Q3 of 2021, the MVP with partner non-banking lenders, and then voting on CFI, centralized finance participants, size limits if needed. And then also one other thing in Q3 they're going to work on is apply for multi-jurisdictional regulatory licenses to open cross-border opportunities, which is something I do really like and appreciate. Then also in Q4 of this year, and this is where this part of the roadmap stops, they are working to have a fully decentralized platform providing capital to lenders in need and providing returns for folks with excess capital. Another thing that they are working on, I'm not going to read every bullet point, but institute sponsor bank model for expanding user base. And that's something I do think it's good. It's always smart to have models of what to go forth with. And one other bullet is they're going to secure insurance for banking product. So about us. So since its founding, unfederalreserve.com has been focused on transparency, efficiency, and professionalism. Our goal is to exceed clients' expectations as they enjoy seamless lending, and borrowing experiences. Please reach out to learn more about the unFederal Reserve management team, the company, and the additional services we provide. So just going into the leadership. So we talked about this before, but Howard is the founder and CEO. So Howard currently serves as co-founder and CEO of unFederal Reserve. You can also check out their LinkedIn. As I mentioned before, it's always great to end up looking at their LinkedIn too. And something else I like, he actually got his bachelor's degree in business administration from James Madison University. This is a school that I can say, being from the East Coast, is a very good school. So getting your bachelor's from James Madison is very impressive. Then he also got an MBA with the concentration in qualitative finance from Rutgers. So both of his degrees definitely pertain to what he is doing, which definitely gives confidence within the people that are invested in this company. And then founder and CTO is Ryan Medlin. And Ryan Medlin is a seasoned Silicon Valley entrepreneur and technologist whose most recent success was the sale of his proximity tracking and measurement company, Datasnap.io, to Neustar in 2015. And then you can just end up, if you continue to scroll down to the bottom, you'll end up seeing basically areas to end up getting in touch with them. So what we'll end up doing is they do have different mediums to work with. So you can end up going on YouTube to check them out, Discord, and I've also joined their Discord. It is something I would recommend. They have LinkedIn, which is always very good. It's a professional social media site. They have Telegram, which they definitely do a lot of interactions and engagement in there. Twitter, so we'll end up checking out their Twitter just really quickly. And all right, I guess that won't work now, but they do have a good amount of people on their Twitter. And then also they have their Reddit, and then Medium is another source that they do have too. So I do like that they have those. Medium is just always a really good site to end up looking at if you want to read more articles. Sometimes you'll end up seeing AMAs on them. You'll end up seeing if they are doing well with their development status in each quarter. And you'll end up also just learning more information about the company itself. So that's something else I do like. You can end up going to the About Us and just clicking that, and it'll end up showing you about the Meet the Team, the Contact Us. And then if you just click the logo, it brings you back to the main site. So overall, I do like how the layout of the unFederal Reserve website is. They have a lot that they're going to work towards. So I know they'll start to bring on more people with the team, but I do think Howard and Ryan are definitely on the right track. And it's something I would continue just to look at and see what they're trying to work towards doing. If you end up clicking, so one thing that you can also do is when it says Meet the Team, you do see Howard, but they also have someone in community and publications, which is, his name is Kevin Thompson. He does have a LinkedIn as well. You can end up going to the solutions architect, and Mr. Tarasenko is there. So he has been doing software development for over 10 years. And then they do have advisors. So that's another promising thing. You love to see a company with advisors and see what their advisors are in. Currently, I see over 9 advisors. So they actually have 12 advisors, which is really good. And some of the likes are Michael Forrester, which is in compliance. They have Melissa Barbera, which is a part of the legal advisory part. Scott Banks was a CPA, and that's extremely important since they're working to do the business to business lending, and you have a CPA. That's extremely important. They have Edward Eaton. They have Alan Alford, who is a risk pricing and economics. So it's smart to have a CPA in economics, and they have someone in international tax, and Michael Gale, if they're looking to expand outside the United States for sure. And then they also have a technical blockchain advisor and Kumar. So I do like what they're doing, and it's something that they will continue to grow. So far, I noticed that there are 4 people that they have introduced a part of the team, but then they have 12 advisors. So it's definitely a team that you will see to continue to grow over time. And overall, I would say that this is a company that people should look into. Again, I'm not ever going to tell anybody to invest in anything. They can just do their own research. I want this to be a starting point of where you end up working at. And then you can go off of this basis, end up seeing if it's something that you'd be interested in or not. They also have a light paper. So you'll see a light paper and a white paper. The light paper is only 9 pages long, whereas the white paper is over 50. So if you don't have a lot of time, you can check out some of the light paper and it'll give you information on what the company is doing. So basically, with all that being said, go ahead and check out the light paper if you want to. You can end up checking them out on CoinMarketCap to start and just look at what blockchain they're built on, how the community is. They also have over 11,000 people on the watch list on CoinMarketCap. They current volume in the 24 hours is over $8 million, which is very good. A lot of their volume is done on Uniswap and Biloxi. So you can also see that. But with that being said, this is Christian A signing out. What we got next, and check out the next one coming soon.